Hey class, welcome to chapter 3. In this chapter, we're going to be looking at waste collection. And there's 3 parts to this system that we'll look at in 3 chunks. So the first is the actual collection. This is the part we probably see, the truck coming really early in the morning and making a lot of noise to pick up our waste. Then there's transfer, so that's where transfer stations move material from the primary collection trucks that service us at the curb to the long haul transport that takes things to waste disposal locations all over. And then that's that last part, that transport to other waste disposal sites. So one of the interesting parts about transportation is it's relatively an expensive part of the waste system. So if you think about the massive infrastructure that we have existing in the world to produce products, distribute them and retail them, deliver them, get them into our homes, a lot of those products, because of what we talked about in the last video, due to packaging and obsolescence, we end up throwing out really quickly. So we have this huge system that gathers all that things back and kind of has a reverse supply chain. So instead of distributing, we're consolidating everything back and sending it to a few waste disposal sites. So this is a lot of infrastructure and machinery and people involved. So it ends up being an expensive part of the system, and that's why it's an important part to look at. Also, as we touched on in the last chapter, it's important because it's an interface between people and the system, and it's an opportunity to get some better waste reduction and diversion happening. So kind of interesting as well, because there's so much money in waste collection, it's traditionally in some places been a sector that has been used by organized crime as a way to profit and municipal corruption and things like that. And you'll see in one of the videos that comes up again, but just to underscore like how much money there is in moving this massive amount of material around. And going along with the cost of this system, something that will come up as we go through this chapter and then further throughout the course is this idea of a cost-benefit analysis. So in the figure on the right, there's a figure from a US EPA manual on waste transfer stations, and it shows 2 cost curves. So there's a steeper curve that starts lower down. So that's like a less capital intensive option, but it costs more operationally. And then there's a shallower curve that starts higher up. So more capital cost, but it's cheaper to operate. And that graph is specifically explaining why you would have a transfer station. So rather than have a lot of trucks drive all the way to the waste disposal site, it makes sense to have them consolidate and only send a few bigger trucks out. But you can extend this thinking about balancing your total cost by seeking the balance between operational and capital cost to anything throughout waste and anything throughout the waste collection system. So we're going to talk about like different options for trucks and spending more money on automation and things like that. And you can think of a similar cost benefit curve when you think about those. On the left of this slide, you can see there's some funny looking waste receptacles. This is a pneumatic waste collection system in Spain. I don't think there's any like it in North America, but this is an example of a very capital intensive system. So they have to have all these waste pipes underground and blowers to add vacuum to the system, but maybe less operationally expensive because they don't have trucks running out every day. So in this chapter, we're really going to focus on a truck-based system. That's what we have a lot of in North America, but it's not the only model. But whatever you choose in your waste collection system, we'll come back to what is the best thing in terms of cost-benefit analysis for your specific situation.